Anyway, on Facebook, we have a couple of main things you can have. You have your own personal membership thing. Then you also can have pages and you can have groups. If you're wanting to use Facebook for advertising, you need to have a page. So you need to set yourself up a page. Very simple to do. You don't need any special information you can set up for anything. But I also suggest we have a group. So I have a group. The group allows me to message everyone quickly. I can tag everyone's names in photos or on things. In a group, I can't tag people. So people can like the page, they get information about it. But I feel like the page is more like my general advertising for people that come onto the site randomly. The group is more for people who are involved in the club or people who are involved in their own clubs, but other sort of BJC clubs that I have a good relationship with are likely to be part of my group. And then that's when I'm more likely to be tagging them and things like that. So this, anyway, is the page that I've just gone on to now. And as an administrator, the page looks different to how you would see it if you weren't the administrator. So I can go into this here and it says view page as a visitor. So if I want to see what my page actually looks like to someone else that comes on, I can click on that and then it takes out all those statistics that were on the side and all that sort of thing. Just gives my very general information, a couple of events that I've posted up there, our videos that have come up, that ad that we looked at in the last segment. You know, like I said, the last lot of posts that have come up onto it. So we don't post to this anywhere near as much as we post to the group. Again, this I sort of feel is for people that are coming from outside to have a look at what we do, not the people who are already here. So anyway, I want to go back and see if I can go back in as an administrator. So I'll just click out and come back in. Cool. All right, so I want to create an ad. So I can go from in this area and go into promote. Maybe. And can choose different things to promote. So the boosting of the post to get more visitors in, that sort of thing. That isn't where I want to go on this one. What I want to try and do is look at the advertising side of stuff. So I'm going to go back to my home page and I'm going to go to Adverts Manager. So if that's not on the side of your sheet, you need to look it up the top. So if you go into here and go Adverts Manager and then click on it, it will bring up ways for you to access it. But anyway, most of you will have it on the side. So you just go to your Adverts Manager. And you will need to set this up the first time. So you need to set up so it has a billing account for it to come out of. So I use my credit card for it. How much you want to be billed each time. So some of my ads might cost over the term of them quite a few $100s. Some will only cost a little bit, $10, $14, depending on what I'm trying to do. So I get it to deduct from my account whenever it gets up to $60. So it's either it comes out each week, or if it goes over $60, it comes out. And that way I can keep a better track of where I'm at. I don't suddenly have a massive bill to come out. So if I want to create an advert, it's just as simple as following the instructions up here. Create advert. What do I want to do? Boost my post, promote my page, send people destination on or off Facebook. I've been told that the ones that I want to try and use is generally increase conversions on your website. Now, when you do this one, it gives you a couple of extra options that are a bit more advanced, but when you first get started, you don't need to worry about them. So I suggest you select that one to try and get people in. Sorry, just came up with a new box that I hadn't seen before. So I can use audiences that I've pre-done, but again, that's a little bit more complicated than we need to get to. So in here, I want to create a custom audience. I'm not even going to tag that front one. And it says, where do I want to do it? Everyone in this location, United States. Well, obviously that's not right. So I'm going to go here, Somerville, if I can spell it. It says Somerville, Victoria, Australia. Done. What size radius? Well, let's say I was advertising for kids. I'm going to go right down to 17-kilometer radius. So as you can see, half of mine, unfortunately, is in the water. I now choose what age groups I want to go to, and men or women or both. So in this one, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to try and target females, and I'm looking for mothers. So I have to make some judgment calls on what I want to aim for, what age group I think is most likely going to have it. So I'm thinking, okay, we want young children. We're going for kinder kids, so they're going to be 3. So I would say most likely people from the age of 25 up, although I know there are mothers younger than that, but that's going to be my judgment call. And I'm going to top that out at 46 years of age. And then I can put in extra things, languages and stuff. Obviously, it doesn't matter to us. If you lived in Europe, somewhere that would be highly relative. And even in America, in like California, you'd probably be looking for either Spanish, non-Spanish, or both people, so it would hit both pages. Then I can limit it down even further. People who are interested or certain demographics. So I'm going to say I want parents. And this is where I can get myself in trouble. So I want parents who have kids under a certain age. So I'm going to go for 3 to 5 year old parents with preschoolers. And when I say I can get myself in a bit of trouble, why I say that is that they have to have said that that's what they've got. So if in their profile they set up, they don't say that they've got children, then I could have just limited myself out of contacting them. But there's other ways I could find out. So I might put in other interests that they might have, like daycare centres, because they've probably looked that up before, or they like a daycare centre. Or I could put up kindergartens, or I could put in activity centres. So anything that you think relates around a child and their interests, you could put in there, and that would help you be more likely to target the people with those things. But I'm just going to put this as the example, just the 3 to 5 year olds. And you can see down here it says that, okay, in the 14K radius, women between the age of 25 and 46 who have children, 3 to 5 year olds, the estimated daily reach is 910 to 2,400 people on Facebook and 1,200 to 3,100 people on Instagram. You'll notice Instagram here is higher. And I think that is because females in that demographic, particularly the younger end of it, are more likely to be on Instagram. If I was targeting males and I was targeting 35 years and up, I would find that Instagram count would be really low and the Facebook count would be pretty high. So it again depends on who you are looking at, but having it to go to both is pretty good, I think, much more important. Okay, so then I just usually choose automatic placements, so I just want it to go there. I'm not worried about these connection types and things at the moment. I'm not worried about saving the audience, but if you thought you were going to use this ad regularly, you probably would. I then look at my daily budget. You can set this down as low as you like, pretty much, or you can set for the lifetime your budget. I'm going to run it for 2 weeks. I don't want to spend any more than $20. You might decide, so that's what you'd make it. I've found that anything under $5 a day can work, but it's not as effective as spending $5 a day. So 2 to 3 weeks out, I'll probably spend $5 a day on most ads. In the last week before, if I haven't got the amount of people I want, I'll be spending $8 to $12 a day, and that tends to get me pretty good results. So that would sort of be where my budget lies. Run my AV continuously starting today. I don't want to run it continuously because then I will be paying forever. So I go down here, I would set my start date and end date. So my course starts in 2 weeks. I'll finish it off at that time. And you just put those dates in. And then it's just a matter of saving it off. So you just go continue. And then the next page... Sorry, I had to pick a Kixel. This won't make sense to most of you. You won't have put one in, so it will create it for you. But because I have them, I'm going to use my Kinder one because we're talking about kindergarten. This means that if I put a pixel, which is some typing words that it gives me, onto my website, it will keep track of every person who follows this and goes to my website. So it's for stats keeping, which again is important, but not paramount when you're first trying to set these up. So sorry, I'll just do that and go continue down here again. It gives me an option between having just one image, a carousel of images, a single video, slideshow, and canvas. All of these will get you good results and things. The slideshow is fairly new, maybe a year out, and it just runs through the images on a loop, so it can give it the effect that it's a video even though it's just photos, so that works pretty well. The single video I found is really useful, particularly for the Krav and the kids karate, and a single image not so much. So I either use a carousel or the single video, slideshow a little bit, and Canvas is something I actually haven't worked with yet, still fairly new. Something I've just got to have a bit of a read through and see how I work that. Okay, so then I would choose, again, what I'm going to do single image today just so I don't have to do too much. They have free stock images that I can use, which I haven't used, so I'm going to just see what they've got. Put in karate. Okay, I'm going to go with this. The problem with using some of these free stock images is that, multiple people could be using it. So your ad may not attract people's attention because they may have seen that ad hundreds of times. Chances are that it's not going to happen, but keep that in mind. It's a really good way to use ads to start with, but then once you get some of your own photos or even take photos that replicate these ones, that's a better way to do it. Anyway, this is where it needs to connect to my Facebook page. If I don't have a Facebook page, it won't work as well, so I connect it back to Smack. You connect it to whatever your lead page was. On Instagram, our business Instagram is Smack Gym, so it hooks up to that as well. In website URL, this is where I'm trying to send them to my website where I want them to go. So I would make this my landing page. So I would go to my website, I would look for Kinder Kids Karate, and it's as simple as me just going up here, highlighting it, Control C for copy, go back to my adverts, and then on here I just paste that in on the page there. And I know now that they'll be sent. Sorry, that's just trying to upload it, so it'll just take a moment to come up. That means they'll be sent directly to that if they click on the page anywhere, and particularly if they press Learn More. Headline, I would put in something like new classes for 3 to 5 year olds, something along that line. In the text here, you would write whatever you want to write. I'll write innovative 5-week program is a massive hit, like that. Okay, then I'd move on down. View tags, don't worry about that at the moment. Again, these are good options, but not something you have to worry about. I'm going to go with the Learn More button, but you could do apply now if you want to apply for it. Contact us now. So lots of different choices in there for you to choose. The display link down here. Again, I'm just going to put in the same website that we had before. And the URL parameters, again, you don't need to worry about that at this time, because it could get confusing. It says that it's going to track with that. Again, that tracking pixel, you don't need to worry about it at the moment, but I'll try and show that at another stage. Okay, so there's our basic ad set up. At the end here, you'd press place order, and it would go through, and then you can have a look at your ad. It will tell you whether it's been accepted or not. With your photo, you can only have a very small amount of text, 20% of the image. They do that by dividing the image up into 3 columns by 3 columns, I think it is. And if your words cross more than a certain amount of those columns, then it's too many. So even if I just had 3 bits of text, 2 letters up here, big letters, and 2 letters down here, and 1 down in here, it would be too many. If I had the same amount of letters going straight across the top, then that would be okay, because it would only cross so many of those cells. So you can find out more about that if you just type in Facebook advertising, how many letters, something like that. All right, guys, once it's all done, you'll be able to have a look at it in your Sorry, I'm just going to get out of the ad there. You'll be able to have a look back in your normal thing, which does make sense. Cool. So here's all the statistics on the ads that I run. Some of the stats aren't great because the pixel hasn't been hooked up all the time. So it'll go through, it'll tell me how many loads it's had, so how many times it's on a page, how many people it reached, what it cost me per lead. So if someone clicked on it and followed it, then that's a lead. I have to have the pixel for that sort of information. So this is where your pixel can come in important. So sometimes a pixel like this boxing one, we tried to hit to get a big group in, reached 6,222 people. It cost me $6 per person that saw the ad or followed the ad, and that's really expensive. I want to try and get that down to around about 85 cents or something. However, on that one we had a really good recount. We had 9 people join that program, and I only advertised for a week and a bit. So even though it was expensive, the people that we got off it were really good leads, so it was well worth the value. And same with the Teen Tire one here, we got the same sort of thing. So then sometimes they're down to 59 cents, but we mightn't get as well as good a leads from them. So it's a bit of a juggle game and a bit of a practice on it. Anyway, if you've got any questions, let me know and I'll try and do other little videos for you to help out. Thanks, guys.